the principal's office smelled like stale coffee and collective, defensive panic. I sat across from 5 adults, all of them staring at my 16-year-old nephew, Leo. Leo is the kind of kid who spends his weekends fixing old lawnmowers for the elderly and reading sci-fi novels. But today, his right knuckles were split open and raw, and next to him sat Coach Miller, the town's golden boy, holding an ice pack to a completely shattered jaw. The principal, a man who clearly cared more about the school's public relations than actual justice, slammed his fist on the desk. He attacked a faculty member out of nowhere. We're talking about expulsion and legal charges. My sister, Leo's mom, looked ready to faint. Everyone was screaming. But Leo just sat there, chin up, with absolutely zero regret in his eyes. I looked at him, leaned in, and kept my voice calm. Leo, talk to me. Why did you do it? The room went dead silent. Leo looked around the table, staring down every single administrator before his eyes finally landed on the coach. Because he's been targeting the scholarship kids, Leo said, his voice completely steady. For 6 months, he's been running a hazing ring in the locker rooms. If you don't play along, he cuts your playtime and ruins your chances at college. The principal scoffed, waving his hand. That is absurd. Coach Miller is a pillar of this community. But Leo didn't blink. He reached into his pocket, pulled out his phone, and tapped a file. I told you about the bruises on Marcus's shoulders 3 months ago, Principal Vance. You told me, boys will be boys. Mom, I showed you the texts. You told me not to rock the boat because we needed the coach on our side for my own applications. One by one, the adults shifted in their seats. The confidence completely drained from their faces. But that's not why I broke his jaw today, Leo whispered, and the entire room froze. Last night, he locked a freshman in the equipment shed, left him there, in the dark, during a storm, with no heat. The kid was hyperventilating when I broke the lock this morning. Leo stood up, tossed his phone onto the desk, and looked at the principal. The school board might cover for him, but the police won't. I already called them. They're in the parking lot. Coach Miller's face turned completely white. He didn't even try to deny it. He just grabbed his coat and bolted out the side door. 10 minutes later, the cops arrived. I thought it was finally over. The bad guy was running and the truth was out. But 2 hours later, while I was sitting with Leo at a diner, my phone buzzed. It was a detective from the county precinct. Sir, you need to bring Leo in immediately, the detective said, his voice deadpan. Coach Miller just filed a report. It turns out the security footage from the locker room for the entire semester was completely wiped from the server an hour ago, and the only login footprint left behind belongs to your nephew. My jaw dropped. The diner suddenly felt completely claustrophobic. Leo stared at his lukewarm fries, his face going totally pale as the realization hit him. Miller didn't just run to save his own skin. He ran to the athletic department's main computer mainframe to cover his tracks. He knew the admin passwords by heart. He completely flipped the script on us, turning a terrified 16-year-old kid into a cyber criminal mastermind overnight. I looked at Leo, my heart absolutely pounding against my ribs. Men like Miller always have a backup plan.